What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. This is the build video for the Doom Reaper. I'm starting to run out of names, so that's the one I thought of coming up with, Doom Reaper. Still running the pumpkin polymorph. Quite a big fan of this. I wanted it for years and I've only finally just got it. So let's quickly jump straight into the stats. So the weapon damage will go up to around 7,000, and the weapon critical will hit around 40%, and the physical penetration will hit around 25 to 26k. So that's with the battle proc. You want 64 points into health. You can go stamina, but I just always go into 64 points into health, 64 points into magicka. You can go into stamina, but I always prefer the maximum magicka, as I'm running the healthy offering, which buffs your max magicka as well, and I believe you can get a higher maximum magicka pool than you can get the maximum stamina pool. And I like to spam the heals quite a lot, and you can cloak plenty, so you can get out of a lot of trickier situations. But you do have to be careful, obviously, as the stamina bar is a bit small, so you need, but this involves heavy attack in this build, so the sustain is not too bad. So if we jump straight into the sets, the first set I'm running is Witch Knight. We are running 4 pieces of it, as you get 3 lines of weapon and spell damage. I'm running 2 swords, both sharpened, and I've got the absorb stamina enchantment for some extra stamina return, and it deals physical damage. A medium Balorg's Mask, Divines, Max Magicka. And the final set is the Flame Blossom set, which does a line of flame damage when you deal any damage, so it procs constantly, and it also applies the burning status effects, so it's very powerful. And this is a light set, and you want everything in Divines and Max Magicka. The shoulders is Balorg's Arm Corpse medium, Divines Max Magicka, and the rest of the body is the Flame Blossom. So we're running 2 medium and 5 light. The amulet is Witch Knight's amulet infused with the weapon damage enchantment. The ring is the same, Witch Knight infused with a weapon damage enchantment. And the Oaken Soul Ring, of course, as it's a 1-bar build with a weapon damage enchantment. So we'll go into the skills quickly. Merciless Resolve. If you do 2 heavy attacks or 5 light attacks, but we'll be doing heavy attacks on this, you can fire a spectral arrow which hits very hard. I've hit around, on this particular build, around the 22k mark, but I believe it can go much higher. You can get some nasty executes with this. Shrewd Offering for your heal and your maximum magicka buff as the passive through the ciphering, and the magicka flood. That's why I slot that. You've got your whirling blades, which hits very hard, especially on really good on the Cyrodiil resource points, because obviously there's a lot of NPCs, they go down super fast. Concealed weapon, it knocks them off balance. You get major berserk and you get minor expedition, so that's a must. And shadowy disguise, of course, for your cloak. and Dawnbreaker of Smiting. You can slot Soul Harvest or Incapacitating Strike, but I prefer the Dawnbreaker as it hits multiple targets and it hits very hard on this build. The food is Bewitched Sugar Skulls for maximum resources. You want to be a vampire as well. I prefer to be stage 2 just for the damage buff. You can go stage 3, but of course it's going to increase your ability costs, which is not something you really want to do. You can run this on stage 3 though, I have done. And obviously the Mundus Stone is the Shadow, which increases your critical damage. And if we go to the critical damage, it's at 61%. But if I haven't actually golded out all the armour. I'm missing 5 pieces, so that's another 5%. You really want to get to 71%, as I think that's the actual, or around the cap, as you get 50 base, and around 70 is about 120, 125 is where you want to be. So this is just a little bit short, but obviously if I golded out everything, I'd be nearly at cap, which is 125%. I'm also a Khajiit, which is the best for the critical damage, but you can run other ones like Orc, Dark Elf, High Elf for maximum damage. But I think Khajiit might be slightly better if you're going for crit. The green CP doesn't matter too much. I've just got this set up for my thieving build. Just make sure you've got Gifted Rider, Liquid Efficiency as you'll blow through potions fast, and also the Steed's Blessing for the movement rate. The blue CP is Fighting Finesse for more critical damage, Deadly Aim for more single target damage, which are for your Whirling Blades as well. I've got Wrathful Strikes, but you can also slot Master at Arms. They're sort of really preference. And your Backstabber, which is another 10% critical damage done. I normally switch between Master at Arms and Wrathful Strikes, but I'm just going to put on Master at Arms. And your red CP, I wouldn't bother with the Fortified as your armor is low anyway. It's a gank build, so it's not going to save you much. You're better off with a little bit extra health, a bit of regen, Bastion to cut through them shields, and Celerity for a bit of movement rate. So that's the CP. And with the rotation, so for maximum damage you obviously want to be at your 500 ultimate, but it still works either way. So normally if I don't have any ultimate, I will just come in from behind, heavy attack into a Whirling Blades, heavy attack, Whirling Blades. So cloak, heavy attack, Whirling Blades. Nice and simple. Obviously another way you can do it, once your Merciless Resolve is ready, cloak, and then I'll just do a spec bow. You get the line of fire, and then you can just do another Whirling Blades or heavy attack. And obviously if you've got your ult and your main massive combo, which would be, let's just wait for that to reset, would be cloak, spec bow, ult. So you can see you're hitting massive numbers, and it cuts a lot of people down quickly. And the Flame Blossom hits rather well. So yeah, it's good for Battlegrounds, it's good for Cyrodiil, be very good for the Imperial City ganking people. It's only a 1 bar build, so it's nice and simple to play, as I like to keep it simple. As I find with 2 bar builds, you have to constant buff, and obviously you need to put more into resources, so you end up running wretched vitality, so you end up sacrificing damage for sustain. And with 1 bar builds you can get away with some sustain issues, as you don't have 2 bars to keep buffing all the time. So I try and keep these builds nice and simple, as I'm a fan of the 1 bar builds. But yeah, it's a fun gank build to play. I said you'll catch a lot of people off guard with a spec bow if they run away from you. That'll hit upwards of nearly 70k on a dummy, so it's going to hit very hard on a character, 20k plus, if they don't have a lot of resistance. So yep, this is the Doom Reaper. I hope everyone's enjoyed the video. I'll add some clips as well, gameplay clips. If you like the video and subscribe, and in the comments if you've got any suggestions of what I can do next. I'll probably be doing a few more melee builds. I've done a lot of gank bow builds, so I'm probably going to be switching to melee for a while on the Nightblade. So I'll see you in the next video.